Right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a bunch of items. So let's go to our main window again and go to our item database. So we created our sword before, but we're going to create quite a few more items. So we've got like a bunch of icons here. So we're going to base it off that essentially. So let's start with, we'll start with our armor. So if we try and make some apparel, like a chest plate, and assign our icon, chest armor. The slot we see it's only set to offhand, so we need to go to our item options. So some of the ones I'll touch on real quick is the loot drop sound is the sound that plays when the item drops, whether or not you can allow dual wielding, and if you do, how much damage your offhand does. So 1 means it does the same as if it was in the primary slot, 0.5 means it does half the damage it normally does, etc. You can double it if you wanted to, it's up to you. We have this option of sockets, which I haven't fully implemented yet, but that's there. And whether or not we limit items by class. And here we go, we've got apparel slots. So we're going to add in a few of those. So we want our helmet slot, we want a chest slot, we want a pants slot, gloves, and I believe that is it. Gloves, helmet, chest, pants. Yeah. Next we want our weapon types. So we're gonna just stick with the basic default. But we could also add in a bow, actually, and make it ranged. Set a projectile speed to 10, and let's make a quick little projectile prefab. So a projectile prefab is basically what you see when the projectile is fired. So right now it's empty, but the box represents the hitbox. And then we want, it's like a little sphere just to represent it. I'll make it tiny. And make sure to remove the collider from it. We just want it to be a visual thing. So that's our projectile now. And hit apply. Delete that from the scene. So that's our auto attack projectile prefab. And you can add a sound to it, an impact effect, and some other stuff. We're going to leave that for now. And we're going to call this sword. And there we are. So let's go back to our item database and create some more apparel items. So we want our helmet, our pants, and our gloves. So we're just going to fill out some basic info. So our sell price and buy price, we'll set those both to 10. Obviously you probably want your buy price to be more expensive, but for now we'll just leave it as 10. You can add a description. You can set whether this item is allowed for all classes or whether it's specific classes, like the warrior only. And then you can set up your bonuses. So let's say this chest plate gives you 100 endurance. It increases your critical chance by 10%, gives you 100 health, and maybe even regenerates your health slightly every second. We can make our pants, maybe that gives you a movement speed bonus of 20%. And maybe your gloves give you 250 health, and your helmet gives you 500 health. So the issue is when we go into our game now, we're not actually going to see any slots for these items to be placed in, which we need to resolve. We can just continue actually. So if you open our character window, you see we've only got these 4 slots. Which is not enough. So what we need to do is we need to edit the UI. So if you go to our scene, area 1, and we go to our Essentials UI and enable it, we can go to our Character UI, Character panel, and we can edit these slots here. So we've got one for our helmet, we've got one for our weapon, and one for our pants. So we're going to duplicate our helmet slot and just move it down, and call that our chest slot. And move our pants slot down, and call this one our glove slot, and just make sure they're assigned correctly. So our helmet slot is called, our helmet slot is called pants, but it should be called helmet. So you want to name them the same as they're named in this list here. So our pants slot should be called pants, chest slot should be called chest, and glove slot should be called gloves, as it's named here. And there we are. And while we're here, we can also cover our vitals. So we added some new vitals, rage and hunger. So if you go to our core UI, where it says vitals and portrait, we can duplicate the mana twice. One will be called rage, one is called hunger, and all you need to do is just change the name here to rage and change the name here to hunger, again matching up the names here. And you can change the color of them. So we're going to make rage orange, and make hunger, make that green maybe, and you need to just move them so that you can actually see them, like so. And then maybe in that case you want to move your character portrait a little, like so. And now if we go to our intro scene, while we're in the intro scene, let's go to our player character, and we're going to make use of the starting equipped items. So we're actually going to start with everything equipped. So we're going to have a weapon equipped there, a helmet, chest plate, pants, and gloves. So let's make our new character. Make him normal size, and if we look at our health already, we can see that it's applying those changes from our items. However, they're not showing up in the correct slots, and that is because we haven't assigned these slots correctly. So let's quickly go back and do that. So chest plate should be set to chest, helmet to helmet, etc. Once you've added your extra vitals, you also need to add them to your core UI vitals list here. So just drag and drop them to this list, and then they'll be updated correctly. And in your character UI, you need to also assign your equipment slots. So if you just go here, let's make sure all of them are added. Oops. So you want to add that chest slot, glove slot, and then you have all of them there correctly. So pants, gloves, chest, helmet. And now if you hit play, you see all your items equipped. And you can also see your vitals updating. So let's go back to our items, and we're going to continue making some more. So we're going to add in next another weapon. We're going to make this our archery bow, and this weapon type is bow. That's 50 to 100 damage. Well, let's say 50 to 75. We can override our projectile speed, maybe make it faster or slower, can also override the projectile prefab. Can change its rarity by defining rarity types in our item options. And we can also add some buffs, vital buffs, etc. Next we can add some materials. So let's make a mana gem for creating mana potions. And we'll make a purple gem. Do we need other materials? Make a leaf. We'll just call this, yeah, using purple. Can make some consumables, so we'll make a health potion. And so we have our consumable type, either it's instant or time-based. Instant means it heals you straight away, and time-based means it heals you over time. So we're going to make like a simple instant health potion, which restores 100 health and doesn't have a cooldown. Actually, we can give it a second. No, we'll keep it on 0 cooldown. Make a mana potion, and we'll say this one restores mana all the time. So it's time based, it lasts for 3 seconds and restores every half a second, restores mana instead of health, and restores 50 every tick, so that would be a total of 600. And so it has a cooldown of 3 seconds. We can make 2 more items. We're going to make some books, so we'll make this like a normal book. And so the title is RPGAIO. The author is External Solutions. And say welcome to the tutorial. We'll add some pages. Page 2, like in step 1, we will learn about creating a scene. In step 2, we will learn about making enemies fight. And we'll put at the end. We'll make another book, but this time instead of being a text one, it will be a picture book. And we'll add in some kind of picture. Let's just add a picture of this character, and we'll make it 500 by 500. And finally, we can also do an audiobook. And that will play an audio clip. We'll just play this dragon growl. We'll say scary sound. And we want that scroll maybe for these two. Okay, so that's a bunch of items now we've added to our game. We've added weapons, we've added armor, we've added some crafting materials, some consumables, and some books. Did we miss anything? So we also have sockets, but right now that's not fully implemented, so we won't cover that right now. And you can always add the miscellaneous item, like junk, and just say like sells for 15 or something. Now bear in mind you can spawn any of these items as loot. So we don't right now have any models like weapons, for example, but we can still spawn them into the game mode. So we just spawn the sword lootable, and we can just move that to view. So yeah, next to our player, they can find the sword.